have a sense that what we are seeing is the eruption of the shadow in a big cultural way, and a lot of that is due to, a lot is facilitated by technology. We have technology that suddenly, so now everything before was going through a few different channels, the broadcasters, the mainstream media, and suddenly we've democratized the media, we've democratized a lot of the information. And so what I see happening is that we have all of these things that were kept out of the behind closed doors, or we assumed were not part of our society anymore, now erupting out of the cracks between things. And
beginning to erupt.
I agree. I think this is just the beginning of something.
We have no idea what's coming.
I think we maybe have a suspicion.
I don't think we do.
Probably. But that's my sense, and that's where I wonder whether what you're referring to is that same sense that we're going to have to do some serious shadow work as a culture over the next...
To survive. What you're pointing to and what you're seeing with technology in your position as being part of the media, for the first time in human history, I have access on my cell phone to the great works of the greatest thinkers and sages of all time. Right here. Google, what did Aristotle say about this? Right here. This has never happened before. We have the ability to look on YouTube for all these teachings and these teachers. Never happened before. We have no idea how this is going to impact consciousness and the unconscious. We just are in such a bold experiment. And it's going to be amazing what happens. And terrifying, I suspect. I can hardly wait to see what it is.
Do you have an idea of timescales? Because things seem to be accelerating very quickly.
They are accelerating. There's no time. From an absolute perspective. And from a relative perspective, of course, there's this construct of time.
It's a very persuasive illusion, then.
It is a very persistent illusion. So is the self. This ego is so persistent, but it's not real. As Ramana Maharshi said, the only thing that's real is what is present in deep, dreamless sleep. Everything else is an illusion. And illusions can kill. So can culture wars.
You used the word culture war a couple of times now, and I think this is very interesting because it seems quite clear that whatever was sparked in the 60s, the culture war that kind of, certainly was fueled by what happened in the 60s, seems now to me to be getting bigger and bigger. It's almost like a fractal pattern that was affecting a certain number of people in the 60s has just got bigger and bigger and bigger until it seems to be impacting the whole of culture now. You were you're a little bit older than me. What do you make of that? Do you think these are exactly the same dynamics? And if so, what lessons do you have from your experience for how we should deal with what's happening right now?
The image of a lake comes to me. In fact, it's a lake where I grew up. And it was pristine water when I grew up. And now, with the global warming and with the amount of nitrates that are in the ground and have seeped into the groundwater, the whole lake has died with a green algae that has spread across the lake and killed all life. The postmodern culture is spreading just like your fractals, taking over from the modern culture. But my view is that what happens if it's so dysfunctional that it kills the pristine lake? It's not clear what's going to happen yet. I see the danger of that happening. The medicine for the illnesses of the postmodern egalitarian relativism, which is the ideology that's prominent now in this postmodern culture. Two medicines. One is shadow work. Two is understanding the evolution of consciousness. Because that is the next view that negates the blind spots of the pluralism. You must see that pluralism is not the answer. It's not the end. It's not those who are pluralistic are enlightened. That's just not true. That's a lie. It's just another step. It's a bigger truth than modernity, but it's not the truth. The truth is the whole thing. The whole.